Hey everyone, Kevin Lewis with Home Life Benchmark Realty, and it's time for your October 2023 Fraser Valley Real Estate Market Update. September 2023 came and went without a whole lot of activity or much real big surprises in the market as a whole. Sales came in just under 1,000 sales for the month of September, which is 13% fewer than we saw in August 2023, which was already a slow month, putting us about 24% below the 10-year average for the month of September for total number of sales. However, we did see a 23% increase in comparison to September 2022. So some positive there that we're seeing more sales this year than we did same time last year. However, when we look at the whole big picture of things with the way interest rates have been going, it's really not all that surprising that we're still in a relatively slower market. With fewer sales happening, it does make sense that we're going to see the inventory numbers actually build up, which is certainly a good thing as we've been in a low inventory crisis for pretty much the last several years in a row. With almost 2,400 new listings coming up in September 2022, this is about 5% higher than the 10-year average for the month of September, a 9% increase compared to August 2023, and a 24% increase compared to September 2022. So once again, seeing these numbers build up, seeing the inventory build up is just prepping us for the point in time once interest rates start to drop, the market is going to pick up again, and having inventory is going to be pretty critical to making sure things don't get too out of hand. So seeing these numbers build up is certainly a good thing for the real estate market in the long run. Now, despite the fact that September 2023 saw more new listings come on the market than the 10-year average, overall inventory is still a little bit on the lower side, and that's how low we really started things at the beginning of the month. We're actually 4% below the 10-year average for the total number of homes available in the month of September, even despite our low number of sales. So inventory is still not fixing itself at this point in time. It's getting better, but we're not at a point where we really need to be just quite yet. So if sales continue to lag and more people continue to list their home and we can start to build that inventory, again, that's going to be critical to making sure that the market doesn't really truly take off again and go absolutely nuts once interest rates start to drop, whenever that may be. Now, despite all of the slowness in the sales and things just taking generally longer to sell proper houses and buyers having more time and everything, prices really haven't been all that effective. Yes, they have tipped downwards on the grand scheme of things, but it's such a small amount that it really is not having a major impact on what anybody can afford. Of course, the interest rates being up as high as they are has curbed affordability for the most part. And it's really not necessarily the prices of the properties, which of course is part of the issue, but the interest rates being as high as they are has really disallowed a lot of would-be buyers from making a purchase. And that's where the slow activity is coming from. Now, as far as balance in the market, which we will look at the sales to active listing ratio, which in plain terms is how many homes sell out of every 100 homes listed in the given month. And for September 2023, we came in at 19 out of every 100 homes listed was selling. So anything between 12 and 20% is what the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board would consider a balanced market. 19 falls into that category. So technically the market on a whole was in a balanced market. However, that's the whole market, including single family homes, townhomes, and condos. If we split that up into each category on its own, it tells a little bit of a different story. Of course, the lower price the home is, generally speaking, attached homes, condos are the lowest, townhouses, and then detached homes are more expensive than townhouses. Everybody kind of knows that. That's been standard status quo forever. However, what that means is that anybody who can afford at that top level can also afford in the middle and at the bottom. However, if you can only afford the bottom, you can't go up. So everybody who's able to purchase all of these homes up here, everyone that's in the market can purchase these lower priced homes. And that's why we're seeing more of these lower priced homes actually selling. So back to the numbers, detached homes were actually only 13 out of every 100 homes listed that sold in the month of September. Now again, 12 to 20 is going to be a balanced market. Anything below 12 is considered a buyer's market. Anything above 20 is considered a seller's market. So detached homes are flirting with that sort of buyer's market territory. Now, again, the market really doesn't feel as if it's a buyer's market, even in the detached home section alone. But we have to look at the facts and what's happening. And of course, affordability and interest rates is really slowing down would-be buyers. Now, as far as those numbers go for condos and townhouses, 24 out of every 100 condos listed was sold in the month of September, putting it technically into seller's market territory. And 31 out of every 100 townhomes listed sold in the same month. So both the markets are still relatively healthy as far as being in a seller's market and not really being in that truly balanced market. However, I do personally think that we're going to have to adjust what these numbers are in the near future here. As technically speaking, we've been in the Fraser Valley real estate market pretty much 98% of the time has been a seller's market over the last 10 years. That really doesn't necessarily make sense. I mean, despite the fact prices have continued to drive upwards through that time, which is what a seller's market really means. So maybe we are still in line with those balance and we're just stuck in a perpetual seller's market. We do have another interest rate announcement coming up on October 25th, and that's going to have some effect on our market, of course. Pretty much nobody is predicting that we're going to see interest rates come down. That's the only thing that's going to cause more and more real estate purchases to happen, of course, as that would fix a lot of the affordability issues we're currently seeing for mortgage amounts. It seems to be few more of the forecasters, those in the know of how these economic decisions work. More people are thinking that the rate's going to hold than increase, but there's still some uncertainty there, and there's certainly possibility that rates will go up next week. Now, if rates do go up again, we can pretty much expect to see the activity levels continue to halt even slower than they are now, and potentially see prices come down. If the rates do hold, however, we'll probably see prices hold out pretty stable throughout the rest of the fall and winter, just to pick up potentially, depending on what happens with rates again in the spring, we may see prices actually start to climb up despite the fact that interest rates aren't necessarily coming down. Again, this is all going to depend on what happens with the interest rates in the next little bit here and what the overall sentiment of the average buyer and seller is going to feel like. Overall, some stability is certainly a good thing. It makes it a lot easier to deal with clients both selling and buying, and it makes it so much less stressful for you in the same situation. Yeah, you're not going to put your house on the market necessarily and have 30 offers coming in the next week, but that's pretty stressful on its own, and you feel rushed as a seller to make a decision under those circumstances, and you know that the same situation is waiting for you on the other side when it's time to buy. However, with this new slowed down market that we've seen in the last, pretty much for the majority of the last year and a half here, you do have a lot more time to make a decision. That's what I always say with balance in the market. More time to make a decision allows you to be more certain of things, do more due diligence, not skipping inspections and everything like that. And it's just a better market for everybody in the whole. Now, if you're looking to make a purchase without selling anything first, I would say that it's still a decent time to do so. I wouldn't rush into anything, however, as like I just touched on, things aren't necessarily flying off the shelf immediately unless it's a perfect property, in which case, yeah, let's put the bid in, but not necessarily with the expectations that you're going to absolutely 100% get it, depending on how badly you want it. Now, it's more of a type of situation where I would say it's more like a traditional market where you can take some time, take a few weeks to look at some different properties, really absorb what it is that you want in your new home, and make a decision that's based on some sound thought and really thinking things through. And it's pretty much the same thing if you are planning on selling your current home to fund your next purchase of your next home. Yeah, the sale of your home is going to take some time, a little bit longer than it would have 2 years ago. We just have to recognize that and understand that and price things accordingly. But we'll get your home sold, no problem. Again, just with a little bit more time. But that little bit more time that it takes to sell your house means that you're going to get that much more time when it comes to buy. And you're going to be able to make a better decision, feel less rushed, feel less pressure from the market overall, making the move that much less stressful than it would have to be 2 years ago when every single home was going to multiple offers. Now, for the other side of things, if you're looking to sell and downsize or just sell a piece of property in general, The interest rates probably don't have as much effect on you, and there's no real pressure to make any move happen anytime soon. If you're going to be selling something and not getting a new mortgage, the interest rates really don't matter. If you can hold out until rates drop, you will see the actual value of your home increase as the rates come down. So taking some time to wait may pay off in the long run. However, we have no idea how long that's going to necessarily take. And rates could go up in the meantime. And if you have to sell in a year, you have 1 year from today to sell, you might net more money today than you do 1 year from now. We just don't know what the market's going to do. Everybody's situation is always unique. So reach out and we'll break down what you need to do for your next move and what's going to make sense for all of the next steps that you have to take. Every situation is going to be different. So we can plan that together. And once you're ready to make that move happen, things are going to happen a lot more seamlessly, a lot less stressful for you. And we're going to be able to get you into a new home, no problem. So reach out with any questions you have, any plans you have for the next couple of years as far as moving goes. It's never too early to start planning. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Kevin Lewis with Home Life Realty. We'll catch you next month.